A new fire prevention ordinance is forcing Berkeley Hills neighbors into a tense standoff, requiring that nothing living remain within 5 feet of their homes.
And in the lush Berkeley Hills, that's not just inconvenient, it is a dramatic overhaul and quite a challenge. ABC 7 News Building a Better Bay Area reporter Leanne Melendez is here with why the pushback is growing, because when you think about it, 5 feet doesn't sound like much, but you have to remove all of that around
and
the
it could be expensive.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. But you know, the city wants to make it very clear this is not about cutting down trees in the Berkeley Hills. It's about maintaining that safe distance. Now, one side says it's about common sense, given that there is a real fire risk in those hills. Those who oppose the EMBER ordinance say being fire resilient should not mean cutting back vegetation. Even top scientists are divided on this issue.
Those white picket fences are most often associated with the American dream. Add an old hardy tree and life seems, well, complete. But now the Berkeley Hills area is undergoing a transformation of sorts because of the potential threat of a wildfire starting in nearby Tilden Park.
If there's a wildfire in the park and millions of small burning pieces of material fly and start landing on rooftops and next to homes here in Berkeley, how do we protect the homes so that the embers don't ignite those homes?
Council member Brent Blackaby says the answer is simple. Create a 5-foot barrier around homes where nothing ignitable is allowed. This, as expected, has ignited criticism.
It's personal. It's my yard.
When you venture around the Berkeley Hills, the word lush comes to mind. And for some, having to re-landscape around their home is unreasonable.
Well, you remove plants. What's going in their place? You now got a problem. As you can see, we're up in the hills. They're steep. There's potential runoff problems when you remove plants. You lose the soil structure.
Others have a different way of approaching it.
Close to the house, we're planning on putting large stones that would keep the growth away from the house.
In addition, they traded in their wooden fence for a metal one at a significant cost. Under Berkeley's new EMBER ordinance that went into effect on January 1st, no wooden structures may touch or come within 5 feet of a home. Almost immediately, contractors started to advertise. The city of Berkeley is helping a few of those households and seniors pay for some of the landscaping costs. Let's take a closer look at what that 5-foot barrier looks like.
Is that 5 feet away?
Yeah, it is here.
Okay.
Yeah, it is here. And then as you get closer, we need to do a little more refinement. We've started that process. We need to do a little bit more.
And this one right here?
This one too, again, we've taken some of these branches out. We're sort of directing the growth this way. We'll do a little more kind of pruning over here.
What about that bush right there? That's against, right there.
Yeah, bush is against the deck. Yeah, we have to remove those. We've started removing some in the backyard.
So that one's going to go?
Yep.
For the past year, the fire department has started inspecting homes with the purpose of helping homeowners understand the ordinance.
I think EMBER is a great idea because we need to do everything that we can to protect our homes and the whole area. And to me, it doesn't ruin our surrounding yards. It's just sort of a protection.
Jane Turjung says that's debatable.
There are studies on the other side, so to speak, because it's turned into a fight, that show that the moisture in plants often save a home, that some of them screen the embers.
Let's stop right there because a few months ago, UC Berkeley was part of a simulation that tested the vegetation during a wildfire. Michael Gallner is one of the researchers.
Unfortunately, the conditions are so extreme that the fire, after a minute or two, will dry out those plants, and then you get right at the same scenario. So any benefit is washed away before the fire would die down.
His team also published a study that found that a 5-foot barrier can reduce the loss of a home by an added 17%. But not every researcher agrees with the so-called benefits of that 5-foot parameter. Travis Longcore of UCLA has studied the aftermath of larger Southern California fires.
There is not currently in the literature strong evidence of post-fire studies that show complete removal of plants within 5 feet is necessary or beneficial.
Longcore believes this kind of removal has an adverse environmental impact. Wildfires in these hills aren't unheard of. The last major fire in the Berkeley Hills was in 1991, which actually started in the Oakland Hills and quickly spread. Before that, 640 homes were destroyed in 1923.
The state is eventually going to adopt something very similar. You have already done it. Don't you think you could have waited until the state imposed their mandate?
Why wait for the state that is already taking a long time when we are at risk while we wait? Second point is home insurers are canceling insurance of many of my constituents in this area every month. And the longer we wait, the more people lose their insurance.
That's true of Patrice Ignelzi and Bruce Smith. They lost their insurance coverage, but eventually found another company at a higher cost. Jane Turgeon is now covered through the California Fair Plan, which is very expensive.
And requires really that everybody has to do it. If not everyone does it, then it's really not going to help.
She and others now belong to a neighborhood group working with firefighters called Firewise. Those who oppose the ordinance are threatening to recall their council member and fight to delay it from being enforced.
And how will they enforce this ordinance? Well, beginning in June or July, the fire department will begin inspecting homes. And yes, fines could eventually be handed out, but there is a grace period for those homeowners who are working towards complying with the law. And I think the city wants to say, you know, if you're progressing nicely,
Okay.
you know, kind of take your time, do it, you know, at your leisure, at your pace, but do it.
Yeah, get started.
All right.
Thank you, Leanne.
Thank you, Leanne.
Sure.